Factorize the following. 2x squared minus 18. So the first step of factorizing is to look for a common factor. Both of these terms can be divided by 2, so we take 2 out. That will leave us with an x squared minus 9. The fact that we have an x squared means we've got to look closely inside to see if this can be factorized further. X squared minus 9 naturally doesn't have anything in common because we've already dealt with that, but it is a difference of two things that have a nice square root. So it's a difference of two squares, which is going to give us x times x for x squared, 3 times 3 for 9, 1 plus and 1 minus gives us the minus, and then the 2 that we originally took out as a common factor is here at the front. For the next one, all three terms there can be divided by 3. So we take 3 out as a common factor. This divided by 3 is x squared, this divided by 3 is 5x, and this divided by 3 is 4. What we have inside has a quadratic, so look to see if this can factorize into double brackets. It's got 3 terms, and it is a trinomial if we can find 2 factors of this last number that add together to make that middle number. Positive 4 tells us that they are both the same sign. In fact, let me just write that. So they're both plus plus or minus minus. The middle term tells us which pair it is. So we're going to have a plus plus. X squared, only 2 things that can multiply to make it are x and x, and then 4. Factors of 4 include 1 and 4, 2 and 2. 2 pairs of numbers there that add together to make 5 are 1 and 4, and that's us fully factorized. Next one, xy squared to take away 16x, both have a common factor of x. If we take that out, we will be left with y squared minus 16. What's left inside this bracket has a quadratic involved, so we'll look to see if it can factorize. It can, because we have 2 terms, minus in between, and both have a nice square root. So this is a difference of 2 squares. We still have the x on the outside. Y squared, square root of that is y. 16, square root of that is 4. And to get the minus, we have a plus 4 and a minus 4. Next one, all 3 terms here, x cubed, 10x squared, and then 11 minus 11x, all have x in them. So we can take that out as a common factor. There's no other number terms here. What that will leave us with is an x squared plus 10x and a minus 11 when we divide all of these by x. What's inside this bracket is a quadratic, so look to see if it can factorize further, which it will. X on the outside, x times x to make this x squared. Negative 11 tells us that we have differing signs, so we have a plus and a minus there. Our factors, wrong color, factors of 11, 1 and 11 are the only options, so we're looking for a 1 and 11. If we put them in that way around, we will get a minus 10, which is not what we want, so we need a plus 11 and a minus 11, and that is us fully factorized. Part E. Both of these terms can be divided by 3. Both of these terms can be divided by an x, meaning 3x is what comes out as the highest common factor. First step of factorizing. We'll be left with x squared, and we'll be left with a 4y squared there. What's inside this bracket can be factorized even more, because we have 2 terms with a nice square root each and a take away sum in between. So we have a difference of 2 squares here. X squared, square root of that is x and x. 4y squared, square root of that is 2y and 2y. 1 plus and 1 minus. And we have a 3x still on the outside, fully factorized. And lastly, all 3 of these terms are even. We can divide them all by 2. All 3 of those terms have at least 2 x's in them being multiplied together. Or in other words, they can all be divided by x squared. If we divide everything by 2, the numbers we will get will be 1, minus 6, and minus 8. If we divide all those terms by x squared, we will be left with x squared for the first one, x for the second one, and all of the x's here are gone. So we're going to be left with that quadratic there. 2x squared is what's on the outside, but what we have here can factorize further. We can end up with double brackets. X times x gives us the x squared. we have a minus 8, meaning these signs will be different, 1 plus, 1 minus. The factors of 8, we're looking to see which pair of numbers will end up giving us a minus 6, So we have 1 and 8, 2 and 4. Because it's a minus 6, the bigger number has to go with the bigger term. So we go through the motions and try and put it in. 1 and 8, nope. 2 and 4, nope. So what this means is that it cannot be factorized further. It looked like it could, but we can't. So I take this back, erase that. It looked like a trinomial that could be factorized. To be honest, it was originally meant to be a trinomial that could be factorized, but this is a good example at the same time, because what you have here, you try to factorize it, but if it can't, then you don't. That is our final answer, fully factorized.